Hit 3 if you want to see it in subdivided view, and it's looking okay. And if you're not happy, and because this text will look so big, well, you can always do things with it. For instance, let's just focus on these faces here. Oh, because that's a big face, right? All right. Well, you can go and select these UVs here, all these bunches, and do the unfold again. See whether that improves things. Well, it doesn't really help, so I'll say that's kind of okay. Plus, it's not registering red here, right? So it's kind of okay. The ones that are showing red is this part here. All right, so we're gonna have to do something about that. But let's just focus on this UV shell now. That's showing blue. It's kind of okay, but I think we can still spread that part. If you see here, just hit Q to exit the smooth tool. That's looking kind of okay, but I want to see what unwrapping it or smooth unfold it does. So I'm going to select all this. I mean, we got this bit of problem here we need to fix. So I'll just do it bit by bit. Go to smooth and I'll unfold that part. So that's doing a good job now. Right? Let's just do the same with these guys here. Alright, that's slightly improves things. It's kind of spread out nicely. And I think our job is done on this part. Right, so that's cool. Select that UV shell and let's just move it there for now. We can actually scale everyone. So I tend to scale everyone together at the same time. And that allows me to fit it in this space here. It's not gonna fit, so let's just scale. Let's just select everyone, scale it down, and move that in place. And that seems to do a good job. Alright, so I'm happy with this. It's just this part here we need to focus on. Let's just focus on one thing at a time. I'm going to focus on this bunch of toenails here. Alright, the projection is looking a bit funny because we applied it from the top. Let me just think, what can I do? Okay, I'll say that the lower part is should be a different thing. Yeah, and there's a chance that I will actually combine this with the top. So let me just see. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so that ends there. Okay. Alright, so I'll just do one thing at a time. I'll just select this bunch of edges. Okay, and I'll cut it. And that means this is now a different UV shell, right? And I think I'll just select, sorry, this, okay, there it is. This, and this. Should I do a cut? Maybe I'll just cut down the middle here. Why not? Right, so I'll cut down the middle here. See whether that gives me a nice unwrapping. Right, I'm gonna use the smooth unfold tool for this because it's a good start to see how our mesh unfolds, and that does a good job. Hit 6, that's properly unwrapped. I think I'm happy with that. Should I combine it? Yeah, why not? Let's just combine these two. So these two, they belong together. So let's just sew it together. Right, and go to UVs again. And let's see, I'll just detach that and do the smooth again. Okay, that's not too bad. Might be a bit stretched, but it's not too bad. Let's just see. Am I missing a UV here somewhere? No, okay. It's not too bad. I'm gonna say that's okay, perhaps. Alright, they should belong together. Alright, so I think these guys should belong together. It's just select that UV shell. Alright, I'll select this edge and that edge, and I'll cut it, and I'll go to UV shell and try to select that UV shell. So that should be a separate thing. They should belong to this nail here. So I'm gonna go edge, and that's where it should be. How about this guy? Okay, it should be here as well. And we'll just stitch it together. Okay, that's not giving me a nice thing. This should be flipped ideally, so let's just flip it. Right? You can rotate it if you want. And we'll select that edge again. Oh, it's the terbalik. Alright, so select that guy. Let's just rotate it like so. Select that edge. That edge should connect. This edge should connect. Does this edge connect? No. Alright, stitch it together. Alright, cool. Much better, I guess. Alright. So that's a complete shell on its own. Yeah, I don't think this is good. So I'm gonna select this bunch of edges, and I'll cut it, and I'll say these guys should be taken out. I'll go to UVs, and actually I don't want this guy, so let's just move it away. UVs, select that guy, and smooth unfold that. Much better. Select this edge. Do they belong together? No. Who does it belong to? Oh, to that. Yeah, you should come back here. So I'll just select these faces. Yep, those two, they should belong here, I think. And I'll select the edge perimeter again, do a cut, go to UV shells, select those two UV shells, bring it over, go to edge, select those two, and let's do a stitch. Select those two, let's do a stitch, go to UVs, and smooth unfold it. Alright, that seems better. Yep. Let's see where you're at. Press Q if you want to exit the smooth unfold. If it feels like you can't select edges, that means you're still in smooth unfold. So hit Q to do that. So I'm gonna select this UV shell. Where is that? It's actually somewhere underneath there. And let's just look at it closely. I think it should belong with these guys. So I'm gonna try to select this edge, which is those two. Let's just stitch them together. We get that. Go to UVs. Obviously, that's compressed. And we'll just unfold that nicely. Alright. And go to edge mode. Hit Q to exit. Select those two. They need to be stitched together. Let's just do the unfold again for this. Why not? Okay, that's looking much better. Alright. I think we got a proof of concept already for this guy. So this one, these nails should be unwrapped this way. As a matter of fact, feels like it can connect to the bottom here. Talking about this shell here, hit Q, that shell, perhaps it can connect to the shells here, isn't it? Feels like it could, because no one's going to see the bottom part. So let's just do that. Let me see. that means that thing should be a different, this face here, these two faces should be part of the bottom. Now should it? Let me just have a look at it properly. If I connect that, yeah, why not? Yeah, I can do that. Alright, so I'll go to edge mode, select these two, and I'll do a cut because I need to grab these two UV shells, and it's actually here, so let's just bring it here. That UV shell, bring it here. uh, which part is this? Let's just select that face, it's that one, so we're looking at this part. So now's the time to do those connections. Select this and that actually stitches there. So just do a stitch, does the job perfectly. Select those two edges, do a stitch, does the job perfectly. Select those bunch of UVs, do a smooth unfold, that's unfolding nicely. Alright, and if you want, you can also, let's just move this away. You can also grab that UV shell and bring it here so that we know that actually belongs to that part of the toenail. Right. Alright, sweet. So we can continue and doing all this for each of the toenails, and I'll see you in a bit. Just close this. You can just follow what we did earlier. Oh, okay, that's okay. This guy, right? This guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. We do cut, right? So it's the ends there. So that UV shell, that UV shell, that UV shell. Mini part should be somewhere here. Let's see what did I do with that. Oh, okay. So it's running along there. So I'll just select those bunch of edges. Press F to focus on it. Press 4. Alright, it's gonna run along there. Run along there. Alright, let's focus on this guy now. Oh, you can do one by one. So let's just cut this first. And focus on this face. This toenail, basically. Edge mode. So we're gonna cut here. And here. And here. Can be hard to see. And just need to be a bit patient and know your tools. So we're gonna do a cut there as well. Do a cut, sweet. Let's just focus on these toenails. Press F and go to edge mode. I'm gonna select this bunch now. Run along there, and we do cut. Sweet. Alright. Let's go to UV shell mode, and we're gonna try to select each one of this. This one, that one, that one, and that one. Oh, we did that one already. Okay, so they should belong here, ideally. Have I got all? I got this, but this is the top parts. So let's just, except for this guy, let's just move that guy up. Oh, they all contain. Let's see if it's doing a good job so far. So let's just select that. We're gonna smooth unfold this guy. Let's bring it here. Smooth unfold. It's doing a good job, exactly like what we see here. So let's just do the same for this, as well as this. Alright, that's kind of okay. We leave it there for now. And let's just do the same for this guy. It's not really correct. Looks a bit off. Okay, it looks flipped, right? So maybe it's a good idea. Press Q to kind of flip it first. So I'm gonna flip each one of this. Alright. and go to UVs and do the smooth unfold again. Alright, that's looking much better. Alright, how do I know whether it's much better or not? Well, just by looking at it. If it's kind of following the right shape, that's kind of correct. Here's another one. Right? We can always smooth unfold again. Alright, let's just focus on, now we've already unfolded, let's just focus on combining this stuff. So I'm going to select these two edges and we're going to stitch it together. Sweet. So some parts will flip. This guy, oh, this guy actually belongs here. So let's just stitch that one as well. So it goes there. What about these two? It's that one, stitch it together. What about this two? It's that one, stitch it together. Oh, so it was flipped earlier. So let's just stitch them together. Here, it stitches together there. You do the UV, smooth, unfold that, and unfold that. This is looking odd, but I'll say that's okay. Hit 6. Okay, I want to see where each one of these is. So that one is that one, alright. So let's just move it in place. That one belongs there. I mean, just in case, you want to know who belongs where. That one is that one, of course. And let's just move it in place. Obviously, this one belongs here. I like to keep it like, perpendicular. Feels nicer that way. Alright. And this is how I would approach unwrapping this. So we have, basically, this is a shell of its own, right? And how do I determine where that shell sits? Where that seam sits is basically looking at it, and if you press 3, you get a better sense of the whole thing. That you see a seam running along there. Is it going to affect how you're going to texture? Is someone going to look at it and say that it's a bit off? I'll say this is okay, because by looking at it from here, it's not that bad. Looking at it from here, it's not that bad. It's just here that it looks very noticeable. So maybe I want to fix that a bit. I'll say that these faces here, they seem like they could belong together with this top UV shell. And maybe it should run along here as well, so that the seam is not that obvious. So that if you look at it from this side, it looks okay. I have a feeling maybe we'll just do it until right about the middle, maybe. Yeah, and maybe that guy as well. Why not? Right, and just select the remaining ones. Now this is a bit hard to select, so what I tend to do is I double click this one and choose drag. Double click the selection tool, choose drag, hold Ctrl Shift and just drag, and you get that selection. And let's go back to marquee. Alright, so with these faces selected, because I think they should belong together with the top UV shell, I'll hold Ctrl to edges to edge perimeter, and I'll do a cut. Now what I'm doing is basically I'm just finessing this part of the UV unwrapping. I'll say that should be a separate thing. And just by looking at it from here, that seam looks noticeable here. So I'm going to select that face as well. Alright, yeah, so that this part is okay. And yep, I think I need my drag selection again. Hold Ctrl Shift, select those bunch, this bunch. So it's this bunch here. And let's do a perimeter selection again. And let's do a cut. So now that is a separate shell. Alright, now what I tend to do is I would like to connect these two. So I'll set the edges now. That actually conforms to this part, and I'll just stitch it like so. I can do an unwrap later, so I'll do that in a bit. This bunch, and maybe this one bit here, stitch it together. Alright, so I kind of extend it that way on this side here. So let's just grab that bunch of UVs, go to tool, smooth, and let's just unfold and see what we get. It's not that bad. Maybe bunch up here a bit. So let's see if I can fix that. Okay, that looks better, way better. See if I can unfold this one as well. Okay, that's not too bad. And let's go back here. Now that seam that we saw earlier is not noticeable. It may be noticeable here, but no one's going to look at it from the back. Well, most of the time we're going to look at our character from the front. And we got to kind of be a bit clever on how to paint this later on so that it's not noticeable. There's a seam here, down here, and that's not really obvious. No one's going to keep on looking from the bottom, so that's fine. And I say this is a good unwrap. We just need to kind of put them all in that space here, and that maybe might require me to scale it down just a bit. Bring it here and here. Alright, we'll say that's okay. That's kind of touching a bit. Alright, so this is working for me. What else I want to talk about? If you're not sure whether it's doing good unwrap, just by looking at the checker box, you can still edit the checker map repetition. So let's go to this part and go to the note before, and I'll say let's just increase it to 12 maybe, or perhaps 16. That way I can see how that checker box is applied here, and that looks okay. It's a bit stretched, it's not too bad, but if you're still not happy with it, you can always, you know, tweak this guy, maybe make it a bit bigger so that feels nicer, I guess. Stretch it that way. Now that's looking a bit squarish. Alright, and put it down a bit. Let's just get it. It is looking slightly stretched. Let's see if I can fix it a bit. Yeah, it's not too bad. We'll say that's kind of funny. So we need to kind of bring it down back to size so that it kind of mirrors, kind of reflects the other parts of the mesh. But in general, that's not too bad. It's looking kind of okay. Certainly we can do things with it, but it's not too bad. Once you've already used the smooth unfold tool, generally that should be okay. It's actually is giving you a nice unwrap already. So I wouldn't worry too much. This allows us to paint already. Yeah, I'm happy with this. And that's about it for unwrapping the feet. See you in the next video. Alright.